She said that it's not lining up, and the sizing is not good. It's off. It's actually coming out way bigger, and it would have, and I'll explain all of that in the video, and I'll explain everything. I'll even show her video on how it looks, because that's what a lot of us do, not realizing what the problem is. So I'm gonna dig deep and find out what the problem is and how to solve that problem, okay? So basically we're gonna focus on sizing and how to line up your graph and making sure that your actual image, and especially your fonts, your letters, are not like wonky, not going like crazy, and as well as your stitching, and that it's not blurry and it's actually clear. So sunshines, how art thou? How is your day? I am Creative Stitching Diva, your Graphghan queen, and I'm here to answer another Ask Diva question. Lisa came to me from my YouTube channel. Thank you, Lisa, and thank you for your support. Thank you for this question, because this is a question that so many of you ask, and I say it over and over and over again. So I've said, let me do a video which will best help for those of us who are visual and those of us who are not visual. So we're gonna do best of both worlds. Now she asked, she gave me a picture, and it's of the Salvation Army logo, and she wants me to show her, because she's a new crocheter as well. So that was very brave of her to be an actual new crocheter and to tackle Graphghan. I did it. I promise you I did it. Like less than 6 months after me crocheting. So she said that it's not lining up, and the sizing is not good. It's off. It's actually coming out way bigger, and it would have, and I'll explain all of that in the video, and I'll explain everything. I'll even show her video on how it looks, because that's what a lot of us do, not realizing what the problem is. So I'm gonna dig deep and find out what the problem is and how to solve that problem, okay? So basically we're gonna focus on sizing and how to line up your graph and making sure that your actual image, and especially your fonts, your letters, are not like wonky, not going like crazy, and as well as your stitching, and that it's not blurry and it's actually clear. So I have my tools, you know. What good crocheter, Graphghan extraordinaire queen diva does not have their tools? So I have my handy dandy measuring tape, my hook, and my yarn. And what I did was, because in her question she wanted it to be 29.5 inches wide. Wait, I think she wanted 24 inches. I'm sorry, she wanted 24 inches, and because she wanted it to be a wall hanging, and that's what a lot of us want. We want to do something like really cute and extravagant, custom, and small, minute, because you know a blanket may be a little bit too big. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm about to save her life, and then I'm gonna show you her outcome. All right, so for me to have for me to get her to get to the actual size that she wants, she has it in inches. Let me tell you something. We crocheters can use inches, yes, but we have to focus on how many inches it is in how many stitches is it in an inch? How many stitches is it in 2 inches, 12 inches, and so on? We need to look more into the stitches, only because when you go into inches, that's especially for a Graphghan, it starts to get a little bit more complicating, because now you are, if you want it extremely small, you're diminishing your details, and if you want it extremely big, then you want to make sure that you have the exact size and the stitches. So I go according to stitches, and I already have it in my head what stitches I need for whatever I want to do. But for the purpose of this video, I am going to use this. And so because she wanted 24, what I did was I went to 24 inches, and 24 inches is about 50, roughly like 50 stitches. And are we going to get the necessary image in 55 inches? No, it's not gonna happen. So I explained that in the video that you're about to see, and I also explained how I had to increase it to get the amount that to get the detail that she kind of wanted. And I gave her a choice if she wanted the smaller version or the larger version, and I explained why. So you're gonna see all of that, and I'm also going to show you that instead of it being 24 inches, I had to do it as 80 stitches, and the 80 stitches went up to, I believe it was 30, a little bit longer than the 24 inches. It wasn't extremely bad, but I still was able to get it kind of sort of in the path that she had wanted. Not only that, here it is. When you want to do that, when you want to measure your object or whatever it is, your project, don't just measure it in chains. And the reason why is because once you start adding your stitches, this starts to get a little smaller. Then when you start factoring in your color changing and everything, it gets a little bit smaller. So if you're gonna do the chains, add an extra 5 to 10 more stitches to it, and it'll add up to about what you want. So keep that in mind, and let's get this party started and show you exactly what she wants. So here's the video.
Okay, Shauna, this is my actual piece. My M looks beat up right here. Look at these raggedy edges. For some reason, they're not lining up. Right here looks distorted. Look at that A. Needs work. So I think I'm going to start over. And I'll measure it and let you know how big it is currently.
Now, like I said, in order to get the size that you want, which is 24 inches, I will have to put 75. So I'm going to put 75. 75. There we go. So in order to get it to where you want it, I will have to make it 63 by 75, which is 65 stitches across and 75 rows up high. Is this possible? Yeah. Will it look great? No. So I saw what you have, and what you have actually look better than this. Can this be done again? Yeah. Will it look great? No. I had to repeat that because some people will still try it. So, and this is on Stitch Fiddle. I don't use Stitch Fiddle, but I'm only using it because you used it. I have to say this: in order for you to get something that looks good, a wall hanging, you will have to make this larger than that. I'm going to say at least 100 by 100. Let me see, how is that? Now I can actually get this to look good, 100 by 100. But again, I don't use stitch fiddle. So I'm going to get out of there because I just don't use stitch fiddle. And I'm going to use what I use. Before I finish, check this out. Hold on, sunshines. You need a logo, website, and business branding ideas? Check out Lightwork Designs, one-stop shop for all your branding needs. Link in the description below. Just say the Diva sent you. PC stitch. That's what I use. You could use stitch fiddle. That's up to you. I choose PC stitch because it's easier for me, quicker for me. And yeah, import. Okay, we're gonna do that. And like I said, 74. I'm gonna try it here, but 70, 75 stitches to get to what you want. But it would have to be, in order for it to be proportioned, it would have to be like 75 by 90. Again, I can make it happen, but I'm gonna let you know that it's not gonna look the way you want it to look. And I'm looking at it now, 74 inches is not that, it's not that large. So when you do it this small, you're gonna lose detail. So that's why what you're doing now is actually coming out the way it's coming out, because it's large. In order to make it the way you wanted it to make it, and for it to look not blurry, that's why yours is coming out really large. Because to be honest, if I wanted to make this like a blanket size, and I'm gonna do like a twin size. To make it twin size, I would do 150 by 150, or at least, let me see, for its proportion, I would have to do 150 by 200. So this is a blanket size, 150 by 200, and bam, that's how it looks. And this is how you want it. This is how you want it. The thing about it is, it's not going to happen the way you want it, only because you're losing a lot of detail. The smaller you go, the more detail you lose. So I could graph this really quick while we're talking. So the next thing I would say is just be wary of that, of losing detail. Like I said, it's definitely possible. You can definitely have this in that small size, but it's not going to look perfect. You're going to lose a lot of detail. I'm almost finished this. Also, letters are, the letters that are slanted, keep in mind that the more slanted it is, the more this is not going to look perfect. It'll look better, but it's not going to be perfect. So that's why losing detail with certain images may not be a great thing to do, because then it's going to look blurry and you're going to lose stitches like you have in your image. The sample that you showed me, the video, you're going to lose some things. But like I said, it's definitely possible to do it. It's just a matter of whether or not you want to put it out there. Because some people will say, oh, no, I don't want that, because I don't want it to look like that. And they decide to do blanket instead of wall hanging. I think the wall hanging is easier and quicker because it's smaller, but it's also losing more detail. So you just have to make the decision on whether or not you want to lose detail or not. And I'm just about finished with this because, again, being that everything is slanted, the font is slanted, it's not, you're gonna have some imperfections, but I guarantee you when you crochet it, it'll look good. It'll look good. And I say that because you don't have any unconnected lines. And I'm going to tell you what that is in a few. The reason why it was something you said about the stitching not looking good. It looks like they're not connecting. It's because it's not connecting. Those lines are not connecting. So I'm finished with this. This is a blanket size. And how about this? I'm going to gift this now to you. To get the size that you want, let's go back. I'm going to be honest. 75 may not be a great idea. So with that being said, I'm going to make it a little larger, which will probably be 100 by 118. Let me see. It's going to be larger though. I'm going to tell you that. It's no side, so let me give it a little border. So this would be 85 by 100. And that's the smallest that I can do it without it looking bad. Let me see the 75. This is pushing it, but this is pushing it a little. Okay, I'm going to add 5. So that'll be 80. I don't know. I just like even stuff. I don't know. Okay, select. Now, when I told you about the unconnected lines, this is what I'm going to show you. Apple blossom. So as you can see, there is many unconnected lines. See, all of this is unconnected. Let me show you in a better way. Okay. So again, this is trial and error, right? So I'm going to, this is not going to be as quick as the other one because I have to add the detail that I lost. So right now I'm just going to go, I start around the border. And you see these areas where I'm adding, like right here? That's because those are those lines that you said are not connecting. That's what it is. The lines that you said they're not connecting, that's what that is. I'm ad-libbing, meaning I'm adding what's not there to make it look like what it's supposed to look like. So I'm ad-libbing, and I'm just changing some of this around so you can see it wasn't you. It was not you. It's just the process of graphing. In order for it to look good, which I am so happy you asked this question because a lot of people don't realize that you can make it look good just, just changing a couple of things and understanding size matters, your stitches matter, all of that. Okay. Again, it is not what you probably want or expect, but it's going to look like this because first of all, the lines the letters are slanted and it's small, so you lose a lot of detail. Each individual box is going to be way smaller than the blanket size that I did. So again, it's preference, right? preference. So being that it's up to you and it's preference, and we have this, which is 125, not 24. You wanted 24 inches, right? So this is 75 HDCs. Okay. So 75 HDCs makes, this is 27, because again, I added an extra 2, and this is 75 HDCs. If you did single crochets, of course, it'll be a little longer, more stitches, I mean. In order to get there, you probably would have to do like maybe, instead of 75, maybe 80 stitches to get to the 24 inches. But as you can see, me making it 75 inches is going to be really small, and you're going to lose a lot of detail. So your best bet is, if you don't mind it looking like that, which from what I see in the video, you do mind, maybe change it up. And this is another reason why I do my graphs the way I do. I change it up to make it look like I want it to look and fit the way I want it to fit. So you can either do cross stitch or create a single crochet and using like a smaller hook. I don't suggest it, but you could do that. That way the smaller your stitches is and the smaller your hook is, the bigger, the more detail you can add. What else you could do? Like I said, cross stitch, Tunisian. You could do Tunisian crochet, but if you're just learning how to do crochet, I don't know if you could do Tunisian, but that's an option. But that's it. That's the only thing I could think of, is for you to either make it a blanket size or a larger size, but it won't be a wall hanging if you make it larger. 24 inches. If you make it 24 inches or maybe 50 inches, I don't know. It's up to you. I can help you with the decision that you make if you need more help with that. But before I move on to help you with anything else, you need to know these things. And that is, number one, you found what you want, which is the Salvation Army logo, and then you need to graph it, but you need to also know the size. You need to make sure you know what stitches you're going to use, what hook you're going to use, and you obviously found that out. I would use the 5.5, which is the eye hook, and I would do HDC. That's me because I do HDC quick, and 5.5 is my go-to size sometimes. Because I crochet roll, because I crochet tight, I use a larger hook because it comes out looser. You graph that image, and because yours is larger, because you needed to add more detail to it to make it look the way you want it to look, even though it didn't, and it will be larger if you make it look the way you want it to look. So you're gonna have to change that. And yeah, that's the only thing I could think of. So if you have any more questions, hit me up, let me know, and I will add it on. Where do you want to go from here? Do you want to scratch it all out and do something different? Or you want to change the image? Or if you want to make it a blanket instead of a wall hanging? Or if you want to do the wall hanging and not do maybe a bigger size, and you want to do a bigger size, or you could just do the size that I just made. I'll give it to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. But because you're allowing me to use this as a Ask Diva question and post it on my YouTube, because you're allowing me to do that, I'm going to gift you both graphs for free. The blanket size and I call it pillow tote bag size. Yeah, even though I make my pillow tote bag sizes a little bit larger sometimes, but it's up to you. So have a good one, and look forward to hearing from you soon. And thank you for joining. Thank you for joining the Sunshine Crew. Have a good one. Bye. Okay, here's Lisa's outcome. She decided to do the smaller one, the smaller graph that I made for her. And now everything is lining up. Everything is starting to look good and it looks neat, and I am so glad my solution worked for her. Thank you.